As my first act as president, I will swear in the officers and national representatives for the 2022-2023 year. Please come up to the stage when your name is called. Patricia Giordano, Esquire, President-elect. Adam B. Letterman, Esquire, First Vice President. Jonathan H. Lamiro, Esquire, Second Vice President and Diversity Officer. Richard J. Albuquerque, Esquire, Third Vice President. Diane L. Cardozo, Esquire, Treasurer. K. Raja Bhattacharya, Esquire, Secretary. Deborah S. Dunn, Esquire, Assistant Secretary. Jared M. Placitella, Esquire, Parliamentarian. Michael G. Donahue III, Esquire, National Governor. Lynn M. Kitsis, Esquire, National Governor. Francisco J. Rodriguez, Esquire, National Governor. Lauren D. Frazier, Esquire, State Delegate. Scott G. Leonard, Esquire, State Delegate. And Sherwin Tsai, Esquire, AAJ Minority Caucus Representative. So now I'm going to swear you all in, and just to help you all out, the answer to the first questions I do, the second questions I will, okay? Just to get it straight. Please raise your right hand and answer I do to the first question, and I will to the second question. Do you solemnly promise that you will faithfully execute the duties of an officer or national representative of the New Jersey Association for Justice?
I do.
Will you, to the best of your ability, advance the mission of the association that New Jersey have a fair and effective system of justice where there is justice for all and where wrongdoers are held accountable for their actions, encourage collegiality among the members of the bar, uphold and improve the adversary system, and trial by jury?
I will.
I congratulate you and welcome you as the officers and national representatives of NJAJ.
Congratulations.
When you find out you're going to be installed as president of NJAJ, you realize you're going to have a speech and there's going to be lots of people there. You know, so I plan to lose this belly, maybe get a tan, get lots of rest. But as my brother told you, I got assigned out for trial a couple weeks ago. Trial got in the way of all those things, late nights, early mornings, too many stress meals. So here I am, eye bags, pale skin, suit that's too tight, just as I had planned. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for coming. My heartfelt appreciation to my brother, Arthur Lynch, Bud Lynch, for your kind words of introduction and for being my law partner for 30 years, for believing in me, for being my inspiration, for being my best friend for life. I'll always be in debt to you for never letting us give up the fight. And welcome to all of you, my family, friends, colleagues, officers, governors, members of NJAJ, and guests. Congrats to all of the new officers. I am fortunate to serve NJAJ beside each of you. Congratulations to the immediate past President Kate Riley for an outstanding year. Kate's accomplishments were many, including successfully leading our organization in its efforts to promote the passage of the Insurance Fair Conduct Act, This act provides a real remedy against insurance companies who refuse to act in good faith toward their own insureds. Please give Kate another well-deserved round of applause. And thank you to all of tonight's sponsors. We appreciate everything you do for NJAJ. To my law partners, especially those who have been my partner for many, many years, that would be my brother Arthur Lynch, Brian Held, Mike Rosenberg, and Neil Weiner. Much of the success of our law firm is due to you. You make coming to work a great experience, and thank you for your trust and support and for allowing me to take on the responsibility to serve this organization. And thank you to the rest of my partners, associates, and tremendous staff. Your hard work and dedication have made our firm what it is today. You have taken the time away from your families to be here tonight, and that's something I'll never forget. Catherine, can you stand for a second? So, I lived in New York City many, many years ago, and one night I was out with two of my buddies, and one of them forgot his wallet, and he lived right above this bar called Whiskey Park, Central Park South, right down there. So me and the other guy go into the bar, Whiskey Park, and wait for our friend to get his wallet. While I'm in Whiskey Park, it's early in the night, I see this strikingly beautiful woman. She's there with some other person, another woman. They're having a cocktail. The bar's pretty empty at that point. I say to my friend, "Wow, that woman looks like someone I want to say hi to." So I get up out of my chair to leave and go say hello. The guy who had his wallet upstairs comes down, walks into the bar, and says, "We got to go. We have other places to go," so I never speak to her. We leave that night and we go where we're going to go. We go out for a couple of hours, and it's a couple hours. We were gone 4 or 5 hours, different places in New York. On our way back, we were meandering through Manhattan and happened to meander by Whiskey Park again. And I say to my friends, "Hey, let's go back into Whiskey Park." So we go in there. At this point in time, it's filled with people. It's packed to the brim. I get in there. We wander in. And I look across the room. I'm like, "Oh my God, that woman, lady, girl at that time is still there." So, of course, I manage an introduction, and I realized how chance our encounter was. I learned that she was just visiting New York City from Southern California for just that weekend. And had I not come back there that night, we would have never met. After a few minutes with her, I realized how special she was. We were engaged 4 months later and married within the year. I suspect she will never forgive me for bringing her to New Jersey from gorgeous Southern California. Sorry, Kat. She has given me 5 incredible children, now mostly adults: Nicholas, Hannah, Abigail, Mackenzie, and Courtney, who I love dearly. And not just because they tolerate my terrible dad jokes. Catherine has made every day since we met incredible. She's brilliant, supportive, funny, charming, and motivated. She is my backbone and the backbone of our family. Catherine, thank you. I love you very much. So the New Jersey Association for Justice is a great organization The oath of the organization is to the people of New Jersey is to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey, and to speak for the rights of the injured and those damaged in person or property. These are people who often are powerless to speak for themselves. So why do I stand here before you? What has called me to take on this service to the members of the NJAJ and to families, consumers, workers, and residents of the state of New Jersey, whose legal rights we are sworn to protect? Why would I assume this considerable responsibility on top of a busy practice? Well, this drive and inspiration comes from my mom and dad, James Lynch, who we call Jay, and Helen Lynch. I'd like to share with you their story. So my dad was born into a family of lawyers. Both his mother and father were lawyers. His grandfather was a lawyer. His only brother would become a lawyer. He met my mom, who was different from his family. My mom, Helen Caracas, was born to parents who had emigrated from Greece. Mom and dad met at college in Fordham, fell in love, and planned to be married. My father's parents did not approve of him marrying this immigrant's daughter. Incredibly, his parents felt Helen was not the type of woman who should be in the family. If he chose to marry her, they would not further speak to him, and their entire side of the family would not attend the wedding. My father chose what was right, certainly not the easy path. Jay chose Helen. My mom, though, was no ordinary woman. Her brilliance had long been recognized. Chosen to attend the elite Bronx High School of Science, eventually working nights and weekends to obtain her master's degree, then her doctorate degree from Fordham, becoming the first person in Fordham history to get straight A's from college through doctorate degree. Helen learned that life as a working woman in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s was no easy task. As an educator, she was the first in her district to obtain a doctoral degree, generally a shoo-in to become an administrator or school superintendent. Yet over the years, I watched her being passed over for promotion time and time again by much less qualified men. Yet my mother made these moments teaching moments, inspiring my brother and I to want to make change. As one can imagine, my dad chose not to follow his family into law and went into business, small business, beginning with a pizza place after college. He had started several small businesses, each with great financial risk, some in pretty tough neighborhoods in Manhattan. I'm talking about not Midtown, but 225th Street and Broadway. He worked extremely hard to support our family, 7 days a week, leaving at 4 a.m. and coming home at 6 or 7 p.m. To spend time with him as a child, my brother and I would get up at 4 a.m. on Saturdays and go with him to work at his retail store. It was on those Saturdays, watching and talking to our dad, my brother and I learned quite a bit about hard work and virtue. Through my parents, I learned to not be afraid, to take risk, to not accept what is wrong, to be honest and work hard, and to fight for those who do not have the power or the opportunity to stand and fight for themselves. It was these lessons and their inspiration that led me to be a part of this organization whose members stand and fight for justice every day. And for this, I thank them. Mom and Dad, please stand. As I look to the coming year, I consider the impact that our organization can have on our profession and on justice for the people of New Jersey. There is no doubt we will help advance bills into law that will strengthen and protect the rights of New Jersey's consumers, employees, and families. It is incredible that the insurance minimum limits have not been raised in New Jersey in decades and have gone down, despite enormous price increases everywhere. This allows drunk, distracted, or just plain careless drivers to injure mothers, fathers, children, leaving the injured with little or no recourse. A young father could be run down and disabled for life, never able to work again, only to learn the responsible driver has $15,000 in insurance coverage to compensate this disabled father for the rest of his life. This is just plain wrong, and we will fight to fix this. We have seen how our current wrongful death statute unfairly values the loss of life, especially the lives of children and the elderly. We again will fight to change that. The COVID pandemic has made these past 2 years extremely difficult for everyone, including lawyers and our clients. There has been limited access to the courthouse and thus limited access to justice. Courts are beginning to reopen, yet at a slow pace. NJAJ has been working with the Administrative Office of the Court since the start of the pandemic. First to help with virtual court proceedings, and more recently to help return the courts to normalcy at a time when there is an unprecedented shortage of judges. I look forward to continuing that effort with the legislature and the judiciary to reduce the backlog of cases, because as we all know, justice delayed is justice denied. I've been honored to serve on the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. DE&I is one of the most active and engaged committees of NJAJ. I thank them for their work they have done, and I look forward to helping the committee implement the task force that was adopted by the Board of Governors earlier this year. I cannot forget to thank the people at NJAJ headquarters, in particular the Executive Director, Cornelius Larkin. I know Corny stood before, but he's in the back. He has been a pleasure to work with, and he makes the 20 or so meetings a week seem so easy. So Kate Riley has already paid tribute to the headquarters staff, and I echo those words. To my special law firm friends from St. John's here tonight, this night would not be the same without you. Thank you for being here. Brian Dimple, my friend of 40 years, I know your mom's very ill tonight, and I just want to thank you again for taking the time to be here. It means a lot to me. My dear friends from Upper Saddle River, you made the past 20 years a blast, and thanks so much for being here. And folks, a big thanks to Frank Rodriguez for putting together the after party tonight. So I'm here to serve you for the coming year and beyond, and I'll bring to NJAJ the spirit, wisdom, and strength you all have given me. With your support, I promise we will make this an incredible year together. Thank you.